Hi ladies, my name is Samantha Jacobs. I'm a licensed acupuncturist located in Ridgefield, Connecticut. I have been specializing in fertility for over 15 years. And this is my video series on the journey of fertility. Today's video is going to be discussing pertaining to the woman who's actually moving into the multi-layered treatment process to try to conceive. So in our first video, I talked about the client who's generally younger, trying to conceive, and is going to the OB for the first step in figuring out why she can't conceive. So if you fall into that category, you're going to want to go back one video and watch that. I'm going to be making some generalizations in this video, and I would just like to put my sidebar in that that's not real life, and that real life really involves gray, fuzzy, blurry lines. Everything is not well defined in real life, and that I'm making generalizations just to make the video easy to break down and easy for people to watch. So please note, real life ain't so clear cut. So who are the women that I'm gearing this video to? Well, there's two categories. We have the first, which is generally the younger client. So she's under the age of 35. She's been to her OB. She may have had some hormonal drugs which have not gotten her pregnant. She may have been to an IVF clinic. She may have done an IUI or even IVF, and the results have been less than optimal, leading to no pregnancy. Then we have the second category of women who are considered my precursor, older by Western medicine standards. So women over the age of 36 are generally seen as being older from Western medicine. I'm going to get on my soapbox because from a Chinese practice, where I'm coming from, actually number age doesn't play into things as much as the vitality, the physical health, the spiritual health of a woman. So in the two categories, we have the younger woman and we have the older woman. Then to add on top of it, there's usually hormonal issues going on, high FSH, low AMH, polyps, polycystic ovarian syndrome, thyroid conditions, pituitary tumors, diabetes. There's like a slew of other things going on that is impacting their fertility. So now you're getting the multiple layers in their case. And then to add on top of all of it, generally most of these women, the majority of these women, are now dealing with chronic, low-grade stress from trying to conceive, which is going to have a video of its own, which I think is completely, it just debilitates the body and robs the mind and the spirit. So we have these layers going on that are impacting a woman's fertility. So these clients are faced with all these different components going on, and now they're starting to have to make decisions about what they're going to do. And I like to have my clients empowered. So I'm going to give you some little bit of tidbits of information if you fall into this category of women on this video that I pass on to my client. So my first tidbit would be that Western medicine, they only understand this much of how an egg grows, how ovulation occurs, how implantation happens, how fertilization happens. I mean, really, the reality is that there's probably like this much information. And they really only know this amount. So all of this is a mystery. I can't even figure it out. I mean, I'm baffled. I think it's just a complete mystery in many ways. And I'm sure you're familiar with the stories. Why does one person who does the same exact thing get results and someone else doesn't get results? So if there's any way I can empower you, is that to know there's this huge mystery, and it could be that you're not falling into what Western medicine knows. And that there are, you know, exploration and looking at different avenues and different things is exploring the part that's unknown. And that's the hard part. That's all the fuzzy gray area that generalizations can't make. But to understand that right now in our culture, we can't understand what's going on with your fertility, but there is probably an explanation, and they'll probably find out much later down the line what's going on. Next thing I feel that is really crucial for clients to understand when they're on their journey is that there is a huge part of us that is driven by hormones and instinctual instincts. And so when you think about us, 3,000 years ago, it was crucial to the survival of our race to give birth. And so there is a part of us in our DNA that is driven to have a baby. And for women in particular, it's really interesting because estrogen, which is coming from the ovaries, is bathing our brain in all this estrogen. And estrogen drives us in our maternal instincts. So our brain is just desiring, the chemicals in our brain want us to have a baby. So if there's any way I can empower you, is to understand that when you're angst and you have anxiety and you have this incredibly strong maternal instinct, that it's normal, it's okay, it's a part of who we are. Third is, I think it's really important, you're not going to know how long the journey is going to be for you in conceiving a baby. And I think it's really, really crucial to be able to have a beautiful life that does not involve creating a baby. I see so many of my clients giving up parts of their life, giving up portions of who they are and the people they love because it's too much, it's too overwhelming. And that pulls, I feel like in my heart, like that pulls a woman away from the best parts of her life. And I understand it's difficult when clients are feeling, being with friends and seeing their kids and being triggered. But I think it's really crucial to be with your peers, figuring out how do you make that part of your life work, be with your peers, have fun, be able to do things that relax you and create a part of your life. Fill your tanks up. How do you fill your tanks up when this journey is draining you without isolating yourself from life? Because the more robust and abundant you are in heart and spirit, the easier it will be to stay present and grounded and focused on trying to conceive a baby, because there's a whole you involved in it rather than just a fragment of who you are. So the next parts that I'm going to talk about empowerment, I'm going to actually make separate videos for them. I think that they're sort of complicated topics and they require videos of their own. So the first one would be how to pick a clinic, how to pick an IVF clinic. And this is something I firmly believe as a client you cannot be passive on. And I'm going to lay out some steps to that so that you can figure out if a clinic is right for you. Next deadly item that I think robs women of their power is the idea of time. And time is the double-edged sword. And once again, that's going to be a video that will be more in depth. So I appreciate you listening. If you have any questions or any ideas, feel free, reach out to me. And until our next video, see you then. Bye.